The notion that mainstream media is leveraging the issue of global warming as a form of propaganda to control the masses has sparked intense debate in recent years. At its core, this idea posits that by manipulating public perception and opinion on climate change, media outlets and the interests they serve can influence policy, shape public discourse, and ultimately exert control over societal norms and individual behaviors. To understand this phenomenon, it's essential to delve into the mechanisms by which media operates, the agendas of entities that own and influence media, and the psychological underpinnings that make such propaganda effective. Firstly, it's crucial to acknowledge the significant role that media plays in shaping public opinion. The media acts as a mediator between the public and the events that shape our world, influencing how we perceive and understand issues like global warming. By selectively presenting certain aspects of the issue, emphasizing particular consequences, and inviting specific guests to comment on the topic, media outlets can steer the narrative in a direction that serves the interests of their owners or sponsors. In the context of global warming, this might mean emphasizing the catastrophic predictions of climate models, highlighting dramatic instances of extreme weather, or focusing on the personal actions individuals can take to reduce their carbon footprint, thereby diverting attention from systemic and policy-level changes. The interests behind media outlets are multifaceted and can include corporate advertisers, political entities, and special interest groups, all of which may have a stake in how the public perceives and responds to global warming. For instance, fossil fuel companies might fund media campaigns or sponsor content that dampens the urgency of climate action or emphasizes the economic costs of transitioning to renewable energy sources. Conversely, corporations investing in green technologies might support media narratives that underscore the inevitability and benefits of a rapid transition to a low-carbon economy. By controlling the narrative, these entities can shape public support for policies that benefit their interests. The psychological aspect of why such propaganda can be effective is also worth exploring. Humans have an inherent tendency to conform to societal norms and avoid social disapproval, which media can leverage by creating a consensus around the urgency of climate action or the importance of individual contributions to mitigating global warming. Furthermore, fear is a potent motivator, and the portrayal of alarming climate scenarios can create a sense of existential threat, leading individuals to seek guidance and reassurance from the same media sources that instilled the fear. This fear can then be channeled into support for specific policies or behaviors deemed necessary to combat the threat, even if these solutions might not address the root causes of the problem or might serve interests other than the public's. However, it's also important to recognize the genuine concern and urgency around global warming that underpins much of the media coverage. The scientific consensus on human-caused climate change is clear, and the need for collective action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and transition to sustainable practices is undeniable. The issue is not that media attention to global warming is inherently propagandistic, but rather that the narrative can be manipulated and distorted to serve various agendas. In conclusion, the accusation that mainstream media seeks to control us with global warming propaganda highlights complex issues of media bias, corporate influence, and psychological manipulation. While there are certainly interests at play that aim to shape public opinion on climate change for their own benefit, it's also critical to differentiate between propaganda and legitimate reporting on a critical global issue. Ultimately, a discerning public that seeks out diverse sources of information, questions the motives behind media narratives, and demands transparency and accountability from media outlets in their responses is essential to navigating the intersection of media, propaganda, and the pressing issue of global warming.